at Four Roses. Decided we would swing by Good Times here. We're here at Wild Turkey. Do not give McCormick a hammer.
So we used to do a sea glass one, and then they sent us a nice little letter and asked us not to call us that no more.
I love this place. Turns out it's not a democracy either.
We've got a large horde of people here that could stuff you in a rick.
What are we buying?
We bought 4 barrels. And I am back again for the second time in 1 week at Four Roses for a barrel pick. This time with the folks from Spillway Wine and Spirits.
You've got all 10 recipes. All right, grab glass number 1, and we will start the fill.
What profile are you looking for? Like, what kind of Four Roses barrel do you want with this pick?
I'd like a proofier one than we've had before.
So you want high proof.
So what, we have an OESK?
We had an OESK first, and then the OESV last
Are
year.
you just kind of hoping it comes out different than that?
I would like to, out of random, pick anything other than those 2 that we've already got.
Now, do you have a particular recipe that you're fond of?
I mean, I like them all. I do like the fruity forward ones. Okay. So, although I've been really digging high rye bourbons lately, so, you know, maybe this time will be different.
Josh, how many picks you doing? Are you just doing 2 today?
We did a Peerless yesterday. We're doing those 2 today, and then we have Wild Turkey tomorrow, and Russell's Reserve Barrel tomorrow.
That was super awesome that we meet this guy at the liquor store. He's just head over heels for your channel. And then he ends up getting to go on a barrel pick with you guys. That is super awesome.
Yeah, I had fun with that guy.
You just ran into him
at a liquor store.
Ran into him at a liquor store.
He came in and you should have saw him walk in. He just stopped. His jaw dropped, and he's like, "Just keep filming."
Well, that's what I like about whiskey is that it's social. It brings people together. You know, you need to be in bourbon clubs and bourbon groups and having tastings at your house and doing blinds and having fun. If you're not having fun with it, you're doing it wrong. And sometimes when this is the second Four Roses pick I've done in a week. This is the 3rd one I've done. And they're fun, don't get me wrong, they're fun, but they're also a lot more fun when you take somebody that's never been on one, just to kind of see their excitement for the whole process. What was cool about him yesterday is like that whole pick came together in like 2 hours. Like we weren't even doing a Peerless pick. We had talked to him last week and they texted us in the morning and they're like, "Oh, we got some samples pulled. When can you do it?" And I was like, "We can do it this afternoon." They're like, "Okay." Oh, and after the Korean food last night, I broke rule number 1 today. Never show up to a distillery on an empty stomach. So this could be fun.
If you don't get 10, I'll take it.
That's not how this works. What are you thinking so far?
Man, I'm making it. I'm just now getting halfway through.
Any standout, good or bad?
I'm going in consecutive order, so I made it through 4. 3 probably stood out to me.
You're gonna do it backwards?
We'll count down.
That makes sense. It's always that McCormick way.
6 is higher proof.
Well, I'm about to do 6. 7 is out on me.
Yeah, no, I don't like 7 at all. So far, 1, 5, and 7 are out for me. 1, 5, 7, 9. Pretty much all the odds I don't like except 3.
You're odd.
I'm the odd man out.
What's wrong with 1?
Just don't like it.
That's the only note that matters, man. He doesn't like it.
I would guess that number 3 and number 6 are the proofier ones. As in the 2 tier 6s. I keep liking 10 too, but it's a little darker.
I was going to say, go between 10 and 3. 10
I
and
had
3
3, 4, 8, and 10.
I've got 4, so 3 to kick out for sure, but I think I've got 4 in my for sure category.
What are your kickouts?
157. Yeah, it sounded like 157 completely out.
Yeah, 4's out for me. Going back to it, it's kind of chalky.
4, 6, 9 are in my meh. I like them, but they're not like, I don't like them as much as the other 4.
What's your top 3 or 4?
2, 3, 8, 10.
Yeah, I'm 3 and 6, and I'll give you the other 2 here in a second. I will compare what they're doing here.
3, 8, 10 are the clear leaders at this point.
Y'all are out on 6.
I didn't like 2 as much going back to it,
The
but
one that likes 6.
6 is not out, but it's just not my top. I think you could go ahead and eliminate 2 as well. I'm the only one that voted for it, and I gave you top 4. 4 is actually really nice on the nose. On the nose, as they say. I mean, 4 is good. I just don't like it as much as
8 and 10.
3, 8, 10. 3 has a nice, soft, dusty kind of oakiness to it.
What's the proofiest on the whole? I mean, did we skip one of the proofiest? Did we already eliminate it?
Right off the bat, you eliminated one of the tier 6s, which would have been the higher proof.
So that was 7.
All right, you talked us into putting it back. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm going to try it again now, though.
But you still have a tier 6 on the board.
I mean, the 7's good. The 7's just hits my palate a little harsh.
So 8's got a better nose. 3's real soft, subtle, sweet note. 10's got a little bit more pepper, more oak.
This is my favorite thing about doing barrel picks with Josh, is that I'm out and he's gonna pour me some. That's a 10, yeah. I need a little of that and I need a little 3. He's great. I don't even think he drinks them. I think he just sniffs them, to be honest with you.
He spits them back in.
Yeah.
I fell in love with 10 because the first one I tried.
Oh, God. The visual of that is killing me, man.
3 is an OBSQ. It is a tier 1, but it is the oldest barrel at 11.6. Number 8, which I know you've already eliminated, but 8 is an OESK tier 1, and like I said, it'll be 11 years old tomorrow. Number 10 is an OBSO tier 6. And as of today, it's 10 years and 4 months old.
So it's a tier 6. That's why the 10 was tier 6? Yeah. That's why the color is out of this world on it.
You find recipes you like, and it's hard to break that desire for those.
Well, that's the problem, though, with going with metrics, right? 10, proofiest, highest rick house. People are going to love the metrics. They're going to buy the bottle. But, like, which one of these, if I had both bottles on my bar, would I sit down and have a pour of more often? And it's almost always going to be the 3.
I'm like TJ. I would drink more of the number 3. 10 would sell quicker. They're both gonna instantly go out the door, but this is gonna be everyone freaking out trying to fight us for it.
Take the 10, man.
Proof sells. Proof sells.
10 is a fantastic barrel of whiskey.
And 3 is my favorite so far.
Yeah.
3 was my favorite whenever I went around, had a sample of everything, and it stood out as the best.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to talk y'all into 10 at this point because I'm hoping I could buy 3. Like, I'm just being honest with you. If I'm just gonna be straightforward about it, I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping y'all pass on and I can buy it. If you were just pulling metrics and it was bad whiskey, that's a problem. But you're not doing that. Like, you've got a fantastic barrel. Honestly, like, he liked 10 better than 3.
I'm taking it easy because I have a history.
Listen, I have a reputation to uphold here, okay? And my glasses are a little bit emptier overall, especially on the ones under consideration, than everyone else's. I'm the reason they have chairs here now.
They will sell equally. We will get more buzz about the 10. I mean, the tier 6 is just, people go nuts, go gaga over that stuff. Where at an OESK tier 6, I'd be in more of a conundrum. But we have 2 recipes we hadn't picked yet. Yeah, I'm 10.
Just so y'all know how low your clout level is, the last time I was here last week, we had 135th anniversary as just like palate cleanser. They were like, hey, do you have like something to just like a regular Four Roses thing? And she's like, well, all I've got is this. And it was not a regular Four Roses thing. First whiskey of the day, no food. The first 3 or 4 all tasted awful to me the first time. Like, if it tastes awful, just keep drinking. Oh, he's got the cocktail. We got the Four Roses cocktail here.
All right, I need someone to hammer in the bung to number 10.
Hammer the bone.
Do not give McCormick a hammer. If you watch the live stream at Old Louisville, after the live stream, McCormick destroyed a barrel. Like, the man had a brand new barrel he was double oaking something in, and McCormick put a hole in it with a hammer.
All right, stop. I'm just saying,
Then he rolled the barrel over. He's like, nah, this is not all the way through. He rolled the barrel over and whiskey just started pouring out on the floor. You got it? Oh, you already bung-holed it?
Come on, Mario.
See, I could be soft.
No, you cannot. The blend is not near, at least my blend of what was left in my glass, not near as good as most of those barrels we tried.
You took the 3 best out and mixed the other 7.
You're right. At random, like in random increments, yes.
So far, 3 for 3. Every Four Roses barrel we've picked waved in on itself.
We picked another great Four Roses barrel here for Spillway Wine and Spirits. Had a great time here at Four Roses, as always. This barrel will probably be available sometime in the fall at Spillway. Make sure you're subscribed or following their Facebook page to find out when they actually release it.
I love this place.
Oh, it's so
Four
fun.
Roses is like one of the best experiences.
Let me holler at you a minute about the Brewzle Whiskey Festival. October 12th, we're gonna have some of our favorite distilleries we featured on the channel. Old Dominic, Ben Holiday, Old Soul, and many more are going to be in Opelika, Alabama. We're going to be pouring samples, and I'm excited to announce we'll be releasing our very own whiskey brand at this event. You'll be able to get tastings, but you'll also be able to pick up a bottle and take it with you. Tickets are on sale right now, $50 for general admission, but we also have a $25 designated driver ticket because we want you to act responsibly. If you want to join me, if you want to hang out, if you want to have some pours, I know there's football games on. We're going to have them on too. I bought 2 huge TVs. We got Red Clay's got TVs all over the inside. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be having a party. We're going to be watching some football games. Best of all, We're gonna be drinking some fine whiskey. If you would, join me. Tickets for sale right now. Look at the link in the description, and I'll see you in Opelika. Had a little extra time while we were hanging out here in the area. Decided we would swing by Good Times here, pop some barrels open, see what we find.
I hope you guys like this. It's going to be good times.
For Microphone Brewing up in Illinois, they got a beer that's double maple coffee, and we are trying to mimic the theme of the beer with a bourbon. And so it's going to be a double maple finish conditioned on coffee beans.
This is an awful bottle right here.
It's so terrible.
I got one.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, y'all
that's
been in
the
town for a
16
week.
year.
Yeah.
That's the 16-year Four Roses.
Can I give that a nibble real quick? You don't mind?
Nibble.
How do you do the cigar?
Cigar is finished in sherry, cognac, and Armagnac.
What about the Robusto?
And so then the Robusto, we just started doing those last year. It was kind of our own unique spin on a cigar finish. We threw a Madeira in the mix.
140 proof.
Yeah, almost
So we were using
136
sherry, and sherry's great.
and change. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. Well, I can't make this, but I probably got enough single barrel bottles of Four Roses at home. I can make my own small batch. Cheers, man. Yeah. Thank y'all for coming out. All right, so you got the list. If there's something on the list that jumps out and you want to try it first, let me know. If not, we can just start going through some barrels and I can talk about them.
What do you think? Any in particular jump out at y'all?
I mean, I am interested in the cigar and even the Hawaiian honey cigar.
What is MAR?
It stands for MAR. It's Madeira Apricot Rum.
Got some Mississippi guys?
Yeah, I'll bring anybody.
Josh Sorrell.
Josh Crawford.
Hey, TJ.
Y'all come pick some barrels and try some
I mean, we come to try stuff. If you get us interested in things happen.
Non-finished behind you. There's a bluegrass diamond blend that we just came together. Y'all heard of Smoke Wagon? They did a Desert Jewel a while back. So we got an older version of Desert Jewel over here that we've been kind of keeping under wraps.
So I mentioned we were looking to venture into blends. This is our kind of first attempt, if you will.
99% experimental corn mash bill, which was, I think, 12 years old. Then a 21 rye blend, I believe, was 11 years old. Then a 36 that was 10. So it's all MGP. I really enjoy it.
I'm still trying to digest that Four Roses that I just finished off at 100, near 140 proof.
That's palate conditioning right there for sure. You will taste no proof from now on.
Well, we got some 136 proof Barton over there. That's,
You got barrels of that?
yeah.
What's the highest proof one you got? You said you had some hazmats.
So the
I'm assuming
hazmat
they're
barrels
gone.
have been bottled. They went
Yeah.
real quick. They didn't last 2 weeks around here, but I think there's probably some in there in the 136 range.
The one on the left is kind of got a cherry taste to it, in my opinion.
No, they're not finished.
They're not finished. They're all 8-year-old Bartons.
The
Does
cherry
any of
one.
them sound better?
Cherry one sounds good to me.
We got several of them too.
Oh, that's nice. Spot on with the cherry finish on that. You like that one? And that one's 130 something proof? Yeah. Dude, it doesn't drink close to that. Over there,
Look, they got Girl Scout cookies.
Samoa's chocolate coconut caramel.
I've actually not tried this one since it hit the caramel.
That's different. Okay, so what's this finished in?
Cacao is a liquid cacao. They age it in the barrel and they pour it out for bourbon, chocolate for the confectionaries. Then the coconut is a coconut rum barrel. And then the caramel is a barrel-aged caramel barrel.
So you barrel aged caramel?
Some people do. For the confectionery people that do like the craft stuff around here.
So you find somebody that's making like the whiskey chocolates and different things like that, and they're doing a bunch of barrel-aged stuff, and then you can get those barrels.
Right.
That's a dessert in a glass. You like that?
Yeah.
What are we trying?
This is a Robusto cigar.
I like that. That smells like a candle. So this is not a cigar blend. Like cigar blends are typically sweet, fruity cognac finish to cut through a cigar. This tastes like a cigar.
So it's the Madeira instead of the sherry that gives it that kind of smoky funkiness. It is finished in an Armagnac and a cognac barrel as well, but it's a Madeira, Armagnac, and cognac.
And so for us, we think a lot of the sweetness in your traditional cigar finishes come from that sherry. And the Madeira was not as, it's still really sweet. Madeira's really sweet, don't get me wrong, but it's got that smokiness that comes along with it.
You guys do rye?
Yeah.
So I got an absolutely phenomenal apple honey 95 rye.
Apple honey rye. I think the apple honey rye may have been my favorite out of the samples you sent. All right, apple honey rye. That apple comes through on the finish so strong. It's different than the samples we got. Probably just a different barrel.
You run it through an apple brandy barrel?
Apple brandy and then a honey.
I still
If
dig
we're
it,
on a
though.
rye kick, or while we're in the rye category, I would almost even recommend trying that. We've never released an Amburana honey rye to the market yet, but if you're into rye at all, that's a 51% rye.
I'm getting into ryes. I like 51% ryes. What I'm not getting into is Amburana, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. I don't like Amburana because it's really strongly flavored. And y'all go heavy on the finishes. Like y'all's finishes are the most strongest finishes on the market. So I'm assuming you Amburana'd this to death.
So that's the one case where we're actually the opposite.
Okay.
Before we even got on, so Amburana barrels are hard to get a hold of and they're expensive. And before we got into Amburana, we drank some other people's products, and that was our same take. It's like when you put a spoonful of cinnamon in your mouth, it's so dry. Like the Amburana barrels can do the same thing almost. We kind of flash finish an Amburana, if you will.
Probably the best Amburana finish thing I've had so far. Really is, because the Amburana is super subtle. Lots of honey. You went heavy on the honey as you do, but the Amburana is really subtle on that.
And we've released some Amburana honey barrels that, in my opinion, were a little heavy on the Amburana, but our goal with Amburana honey is bigger honey, small Amburana.
Might have to do that. I don't know. I'm always a little nervous with anything Amburana. Like anything that I don't normally drink or I've been talking bad about makes me a little nervous, but sometimes you got to venture out. That's a good one. I think y'all would like it.
If we can get to it, an Amburana honey bourbon. It's buried back there, but we can do some Spider-Man type shit and get to it.
Oh, no. One, you're not on the insurance, and two, you are an accident waiting to happen.
So you said you did Four Roses, Heaven Hill?
Yeah, Four Roses, did an Elijah Craig barrel.
You got Russell's tomorrow.
Russell's tomorrow. I think I like the rye better.
Yeah. It's got a little bit less Amburana on the rye.
Yeah, that Amburana, the balance is a little better. This one's, the honey is a little further forward, and I feel like it's missing the rye spice. Like, I think the rye spice really goes well with it. Any of these look interesting to you?
I've had the Neapolitan before. That was really good.
Chocolate, Mexican vanilla, strawberry brandy. They'll liquid age cacao in the chocolate barrels, and the confectionaries make the bourbon aged, chocolate out of it.
So they put the liquid cacao in the bourbon barrel, age it for a little while, dump it out as liquid cacao, and then they send us those barrels.
And what about the vanilla?
So it's a Mexican vanilla extract that they bourbon barrel age.
How wet are those barrels?
The vanilla ones, we get about a Tupperware container full of Mexican vanilla
But
extract.
y'all pull that out?
Yeah, we
So
pull
it's
it
not,
out.
yeah, you're not leaving any of the liquid in?
And I'll admit, in the beginning, we thought this was cool. There's some stuff in there. We just put our, but we realized it's not the best way to do it. So we get it. We turn the barrels upside down, let them set for 5 minutes, so it all drips out because it's in the oak. So we don't need that little extra anymore. And something like a vanilla, it's such a powerful flavor in contrast to bourbon that if you have a little bit extra in the barrel, it could make it a little bit odd, So the more of the vanilla we get out, the better we are usually.
All right, let's do the Neapolitan. I figure the Neapolitan and the creamsicle are going to be popular.
So it starts out as a liquid cacao. They empty it. Who knows how long the barrel sits before it gets to us. But by the time it gets to us, there's not liquid in these cacao barrels. The cacao is dried out. You pull the bung out and there's a layer of cacao on it, right? So when he pulls it out, you're going to see it's cloudy. That's the cacao in the bourbon, right? By the time we bottle it, we filter it through a 1/2 micron filter and get as much of that out of there as we can.
Tastes like Neapolitan ice cream.
It does taste like Neapolitan ice cream.
It tastes like the big plastic tub of Neapolitan ice cream your grandparents got from Winn-Dixie. Like it's that type of chocolate, a little darker chocolate than you're gonna get on like the premium stuff. But honestly, that's the best kind of Neapolitan ice cream. If you're paying more for that fancy stuff, you're just getting a worse tasting product. That's the one I think y'all would appreciate the most so far. At least it's the safest one. All right, creamsicle.
Another popular one's a Mar.
Is the what?
Mar, so it's a Madeira apricot rum. Barrel-proof spirits used to do one called Seagrass.
Yeah.
So we used to do a Sea Glass one, and it was our take on theirs, and then they sent us a nice little letter and asked us not to call us that no more. So now we call it Mar, but it's Madeira apricot rum.
We'll try that one as well.
So you want to try this creamsicle first?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometime last year, I think we did.
So this is first thing is double oaked, and the second time we double oaked it was in a heavy char barrel. So that's kind of unique. But then the Mexican vanilla, and then a Grand Marnier.
Is that the only barrel of it you've got?
There's one more right here.
You mind if we try this one? Because I feel like the samples you sent, the orange hit a little harder in it.
If you're looking for an older one and one that may be available, that's 666 over there. It's older. This is a 36 rye blend, and this is an 8-year.
It's what's got us started.
Yeah, I'll take that barrel. The orange just comes through more on that one. I like it. That's the best thing we've tried so far. We're gonna bring y'all the Neapolitan. I like the Neapolitan. I'm more of a subtle finish guy. I like the flavors of whiskey, I want the flavors to complement them, not necessarily overpower them. Here, they're adding, like it's intense. It's a mixed drink in a glass, but this right here is one I'll just keep going back to.
So this is a blueberry bomb. I'm gonna warn you, it's gonna be blueberry in your face.
Yeah, that's too over the top for me. It's blueberry for days, but that's like you're not even drinking whiskey at that point. You are having some sort of blueberry melted Smurf. It's not bad. It's just not what I'm drinking. What is this one?
This is a toasted grape rye.
Okay.
I think you'll like this one.
I think that may have been one of the ones I liked when the samples were sent. I mean, the grape is really strong, but it goes so well with that rye.
Yeah, so Four Roses down here. It's a great winery. Actually had my wedding reception in there. I've been a member there for years. They got a product called Summer Days, and it's a Concord wine that they make. They take that Concord wine and they barrel age it. Then when it comes out of the barrel, they call it Ridge Runner Red. So we get the Ridge Runner Red barrels from them, and it's just had that Concord grape wine in it. So that's how we get our grape finish.
Pretty damn delicious.
I'll take that barrel too. Let's try that. What was it? The MAR or whatever?
Mars. So we got two of them side by side here. This is a toasted Mar rye, and this is a double oaked heavy char Mar.
We got both.
This is a 95 rye, and it's been in a toasted barrel.
I want to try the bourbon, but I think the rye is going to be where it's at.
Absolutely. Try them both, but in my opinion, you just tasted the best one.
Like that rye spice just goes so well with that apricot on the finish. Yeah. Like it's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I know I prefer the rye.
Yep, me too. Yep, not even close. Not even a contest. I wouldn't want that barrel at all, and I love the rye. Decisions. Neapolitan creamsicle, the grape. I don't think I can leave without the grape.
Yeah, that grape.
I do like that one though.
What's your time frame?
I have no time frame.
So there's a caramel apple one right there. It'd be fantastic for a fall release.
Let's go. Let's pull it. Good too.
Yeah, is it a rye or is it a bourbon?
It's a bourbon. It's a 36% rye bourbon. So it's a high rye bourbon.
That one's the most subtle.
Yeah.
Out of all, is it young? Is it just been in the finishing barrel for a shorter time, or you think that one's about ready?
Oh, it's old. That's why it's that subtle. We put it in there 728 of last year.
And that's sitting in the apple brandy barrel right there?
Yes, sir.
Put my name on that barrel. We're going to take the grape one. We're going to take the creamsicle, the one over there, and then the Neapolitan. Y'all let me know if the caramel apple sounds like something that would be good for y'all. It was a little more subtle, and I don't think that's what Good Times is about. Like, I think they're about slapping you in the face with some flavors. So I went with ones that I thought blended really well, and obviously they're quintessential flavors, the Neapolitan, the creamsicle, that everybody knows them for, and get those, to y'all so you have access to them, or to the Brewzle Club. So, but let me know if any of these other finishes sound really interesting to you. But I think we got 4 really interesting pours here for everybody to try.
What are we buying?
We bought 4 barrels. Yeah, that's all. It was a light day. This one's already been signed by somebody. Had a great time so far with the Spillway folks. Got some barrel picks. We're about to do another barrel pick of Russell's. So we're here at Wild Turkey. You get here early at Wild Turkey, you sit around because they're not gonna get here early. But while we're hanging out, we're gonna have a little sample of something we picked up at the gift shop. Don't judge my mess. I've got an entire inventory of a liquor store in the truck, but that's what you get with a 2-week bourbon hunt. But we've got a Wild Turkey Master's Keep right here. They just released it this morning. This video probably take a while to come out, so probably won't be the first review you're gonna see, but right there. We found a couple of friends in the parking lot.
Davin Evans, out of
Chase.
South Carolina.
From Augusta.
They're gonna join us on our Russell's pick. We just randomly ran into them. We had a couple of open spots. This is a social thing. Like, whiskey is about making new friends, hanging out with cool folks. We have invited them on the pick. They get the honor of opening the Wild Turkey Masters Keep Triumph right here.
Now, I mean, if this was a little more organized, we'd have Glencairns, but we're on the back of a tailgate.
I have 5 brand new ones.
There you go. That's why you invite folks.
Wow, that sucker's heavy. It's not like a Free Ranch, but it's got weight.
I mean, this is a pretty good gift shop pool right here.
Oh, yeah.
This Master's Keep.
I mean, it cost a fortune,
Yeah,
but we're about to find out if it's worth it.
$2.91.
Tax included, though, so that's a deal. Give me your notes. Tasting notes right here.
It's turkey. I got caramel.
Hints of dark fruit, vanilla, caramel, coffee, and it's smooth.
What's the proof on this?
104.
Oh wow, that is really soft and approachable. I don't love the viscosity of it. It's a little thin, but other than being a little thin on my palate, everything about it's good.
It's better than the Unforgotten I just picked up. That Unforgotten was outstanding too.
I haven't had that one.
It's almost got like a Michter's 10-year taste to it.
You know, it is a 10-year-old rye. So it's got that nice soft oakiness to it. I would probably take a Michter's 10-year rye over this.
I really like Michter's, and I would like this more than my Michter's.
You think this is a little more? Okay. When is yours from?
I've had this year's and last year's.
And you would take this over both of those?
What do we have in the car? What's the Michter's in the car?
That is the barrel strength rye, not the 10-year.
I mean, Michter's makes the best rye. I mean, like, if you're gonna just say rye whiskey, it's Michter's.
Emerald Giant is pretty.
Redwood Empire?
Yeah.
That is outstanding.
That's a good bottle.
That was the one that got me into rye.
I like Redwood Empire, and
I like all their
I'm
stuff,
eager to do a West Coast trip. I mean,
So they just announced their barrel pick program, I think.
Really?
So we're going to reach out to them. That's a weeded.
That one is
Okay.
weeded, but I don't know if you had
Give me a
had it
little
yet.
sample,
So
little sample. I have not had that one yet.
This one's Screaming Titan.
This has a little soft weeded funk to it, which I like that kind of dusty, soft weeded. Not everybody has that. A lot of Kentucky weeders try to avoid that funkiness. Show us what you found. You've been here for how many days?
3 days.
How many stores do you think you've hit?
Yes.
All of the stores, okay. Any particular areas?
Versailles,
So we got a Michter's Barrel Strength, Taylor Rye, and all MSRP-ish.
all MSRP.
And that's, you just don't see those laying around anymore. Not at MSRP. Every one of those I see is just secondary now. 1924. Starting to see a lot of those. I actually walked into some stores here and they're like on the shelf with the other Whiskey Row, but they had them marked up a bit while they're sitting there. Baker's 7, or Baker's 13, I'm sorry. Man, I got the big dog there. I like it. Value-wise, the 7 is just hard to beat. Little Bombergs and Shanks. Man, y'all racked up. Y'all did better than I did. Y'all should start a YouTube channel. Y'all are professionals. Disco 11. That's a really nice bottle. I have seen that one quite a bit. I've just got one, so I haven't bought it yet.
Nowhere in South Carolina.
Really?
Get 9 and can get 10 all day. Can't even touch the Bardstown 11.
What is that?
It's Woodford.
Woodford Barrel Proof from Barrel Pick.
Ooh, wow, okay. This is your barrel pick.
Yes, sir.
And you're getting a batch proof Woodford barrel pick.
It's gonna be a 90 proofer,
Oh, okay.
but they gave us the
They
barrel.
gave you the barrel proof sample. Mind if I try that?
You are more than welcome to try anything you want.
A Rock Castle.
Okay.
You can only get it in Kentucky.
Don't even know what that is.
It is delicious.
Who makes it?
I don't know.
Distilled, aged, and bottled by Barrel House Distilling Company, Lexington, Kentucky. Sometimes, if it's produced at a facility, they will put distilled, bottled, everything at the facility. So if I went to like Bardstown, but I had my own brand, my brand is technically registered there. And so I don't know if this is like an actual distillery or if this is some brand that's produced somewhere. I'm not sure, but I feel like samples are necessary.
yeah, we got a whole.
My goodness, that's awesome. Try that.
That's the Woodford barrel strength.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Oh, that's one of my top 5 ryes.
That's better than that Master's Keep rye we just had, if you ask me.
EX Taylor rye.
Yeah, it's got more full flavor. Woodford Reserve, why? Why not? Why can we not get this in my store? I mean, I would take half the barrels to have it this proof.
The thing about Woodford, though, if memory serves me correctly from our tours, Woodford distills to 160 proof. So they cook most of the flavor out of the whiskey. Now, they use it as triple distilled, pot distilled, but they are cooking it to a very high proof and then obviously proofing it down to put it in the barrel. It just doesn't have all the nuanced characteristics of a lot of whiskey unless you have it at a higher proof. Out of all the whiskeys, that's the one that gets the most interesting or the most bump in interestingness by being a higher proof. Hit me with that pepper just a little bit right there. Okay, that pepper is considerably better than the one I bought. All right, now it's time for us to go hit the Rick House, pick a barrel of whiskey.
So we have 3 different locations for all of our warehouses. So Tyrone is kind of this area where we are now. We have about 25, 26 warehouses on this property. We have Camp Nelson, which is about 45 minutes east of here, just south of Lexington. And then we have a small facility that just has 3 warehouses that's close to Four Roses, 10 minutes right down the road. But most of the single barrels will come from either Camp Nelson or Tyrone. But with all three of those locations, we have just over about 800,000 barrels all in storage between McClure, Camp Nelson, and Tyrone. So I believe we got 5 barrels or so here. We'll pop them open, taste through them. We will taste at barrel strength. I'm sure you guys know the drill, but we have glassware, water as well, so you can guys go back through, kind of add a little bit of water. These will be diluted back down to bottle strength at 110 proof.
So we just invited them with us.
So this is barrel number 1.
Almost getting a honey or toffee out of it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hard choice.
The nose on that one was very, very honey, like raisin mixed in with it.
Every time I drink Wild Turkey, Russell's, I always taste the smell that I get in here. Like I taste that in the back of the finish.
What do y'all think about the first one?
Good amount of oakiness to it.
Yeah, I love that. It's just honey up front, oak in the middle, like a beautiful whiskey.
So this one had a weird funk on the nose right away.
Yes.
Being in the warehouse,
Higher in ethanol for the smell.
I see the angst. What are you thinking?
So I know you guys don't like picking barrels that are unique.
No. Whoa. Hard accusation. So I like picking barrels that are unique. Now, as a liquor store, they got to make sure it's not too weird and off profile. I still don't think this was too weird and off profile.
Like star anise out of it. Like it's definitely got a licorice back into it that is really, really good. I like it.
I guess I see where you could get licorice, but my palate is going to interpret that a lot different. What I'm getting is a nice soft oakiness, a little more like a graham cracker forward kind of flavor, which I think that graham cracker and oak is what you're picking up as licorice, because the oak is a little dry, so you can, could easily hit your palate like a licorice. But I definitely think 2 is much more interesting than 1 to me.
Sir.
This also may be the oldest whiskey thief I've ever seen.
This one's back probably from the 50s. This is what Jimmy's predecessor gave to him.
All right, number 3.
That's got a good nose too.
See, and I'm opposite on it. I'm not getting, so I got honey out of that one. I definitely got a just awesome funk nose out of that one. This one's just plain to me.
I'm getting a hint of honey, hint of vanilla to it.
And it might be somebody else's. It's just not my favorite.
Almost tastes like a weeded. Like it's got that dry, dusty taste to it.
A little bit of dry, dusty oak in it. To me, this is the plainest one. And that could be also, one dangerous thing here is the first one always hits your palate kind of weird, right? So we might want to see if we can get samples of the first one again, at least when we're done. But after that second one, this one is much more plain, much more middle of the road.
This one might be a higher proof. I mean,
the proof is definitely hitting me.
There's a little burn on this one that we didn't have.
All right, number 4. Yeah. It's like the last one. It's like number 3, but it's got a little more fruitiness, a little more interesting flavors going on.
Good upfront mouthfeel.
Okay.
Goes into sweet. I can't pick out the sweet. To a really, really good oaky dryness.
Nondescript sugar, kind of. What do you think of that one?
I agree.
Give me your order so far through 4.
2, 1, and it's a close because I like the honey flavor out of 1, but 3 and then, 4 and then 3.
2, 1, 4, 3.
Yes, sir.
Where are you at?
4, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow, you like 4 better.
I like 4 better. I like that dryness. I'm a Woodford double oak fan. I like the way it dries everything out.
Number 1 never gets a fair shake, so we always
We're going to go back to it. Yeah, we're going to go back to 1. Where are you at right now?
I'm not disclosing.
You're not disclosing. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep our order.
I'm trying to let
We're going to keep our order.
I'm trying to let these 2 guys go.
I'll keep mine secret then as well. Let our guest have all the glory. We're going to see if they can pick the same barrel that we would pick, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Usually the group overall agrees on 1. Although some of the orders may be different, but typically on these, the barrel that wins is in everybody's first or second spot. Typically. Not always, but typically. All right, number 5. Ooh, okay. That hits different on the nose right there. I took a little sniff, was surprised.
That one is more honey. Barrel 5 is more butterscotch.
Yeah, I'd strongly recommend y'all try 1 again.
And it's got the best nose. Like 1 has the best nose.
Smelling it's a great start, but like, what's the overall, mouth? Like we're gonna drink it.
The mouthfeel on 5 was phenomenal.
I'm always drawn towards the oiliest whiskey, like the one that has the lingering flavors, the ones that stick with you after you have it.
To me, 1 was much more basic going back through. After having several pours, to be fair to them all, 1, the honey was a little diminished, and it just does not have the oakiness that I want on a Russell's.
It tastes like a normal Russell's barrel. Like plain and simple, okay, you can walk in, this is good.
You either need to ask for more whiskey or you need to pick an order.
2, 5, 3, 1, 5.4.
5.4213.
All right. Where you at, Josh? 5.4.
I'm with you, man. 5.4.
1.5342.
You like one the best.
Yes.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Wow. I went back to 2, and it kind of changed my mind. But I wanna make sure I try this one again, because every one I went back to, I did not like it as much as when I went to it the first time. And so I want to make sure 5 doesn't have that same impact. 5.4213. So it sounds like 5's the winner.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a 5. Turns out it's not a democracy either. Like,
It's not. No, you get the pick. But
veto all you guys.
also, we've got a large horde of people here that could stuff you in a rick if you pick the wrong one.
But that's also why. I mean, that's why I bring you guys. I mean, like, without your insight, I don't have any.
Specifics on 5. This barrel is from Tyrone F. So this facility just right up the road here. 116.2. So down to 110. Won't take that much water.
Okay.
Your age is October 28th of 2015. So it's about 8 years and 9 months, 10 months. So it'll be 9 later on this October. But it'll probably be bottled before then. So barrel 4 is 117.0 and Tyrone G, which sits pretty close to F. That one is January 30th of 15, so that barrel just turned 9 about 4 or 5 months ago. Barrel 3 is Tyrone K, which is across the street on the 5th floor, which is your higher proof, 121.5. And this one is September 15th.
So it'll be the biggest difference when you get it too.
Your highest proof is actually barrel 2. This one is 122.2.
Oh,
Also Tyrone K5, September 15th of 2015, so almost 9 years
for
old.
the proof.
Barrel number 1 is Tyrone G4, 118.2, and this one's January 30th of 2015.
Tyrones.
All Tyrones. Yep, you got G, K,
Man, I'm
and
just
F.
saying, this one's not going to lose a lot of flavor with that little bit of water.
We have someone here who is advocating for barrel number 1. And this person, I'm going to ask one simple question. What do you think about Coy Hill?
See, that doesn't equate to this, because this is good whiskey.
It equates to bourbon tasting.
This is good whiskey, though. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Coy Hill just tastes like pruny apricot piss.
Apricots do not have bladders. I'm pretty sure. I'm not.
It's just some
Fairly
elephant
sure,
done
fairly
urinated
sure.
all over Coy Hill barrels. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Send it out.
Okay.
This is fantastic. That is too, but I still like one more.
In other words, not a ton of credibility in my eyes if you don't like Coy Hill. Like, you don't have to love it, but if you're like, this is awful, I'm not buying you barrel picks. Aren't you a tequila drinker anyway?
No, I drink tequila, but I'm not a tequila drinker. I drink more whiskey than I do anything.
All right, Josh is locked in.
But yeah, number 5 is I think 114. It's going to be proof down very little, and the flavors are just bold, and it's going to be flavorful when you get it.
All right, we have picked another barrel. Had a great time with the folks here at Spillway. Ran into some new friends. Honestly, that's what whiskey's about. It's a social activity. That's one of the things I also love about Josh when we're out and about. Like, we kept it a very small group this week because we had, particular times to be places. It was kind of a rapid fire barrel pick process, but also he's down to when we just run into cool folks, inviting them to those things. So appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. Hit me with a bottle kill down in the comments. See y'all in the next one.